Good evening. Aloha, Nityanandam. What's going on? Okay, there we go. Let's start with a communion prayer. You are welcome to say the prayer of your tradition. For me personally, I prefer silence. Thank you so much. Well, welcome to tonight's episode on the melting pot. Decolonize your mind. Oh, wrong one. Okay. The melting pot of subjective truths. Investigative, diplomatic, mediator, liberator in the global neighborhood. Hawaii's luau of interculture, interfaith buffet style. I don't take sides. I'm for a global peace treaty, global bureau of conveyance, family-centric, consciousness-based societies. I've been blessed with a message to share with all of humanity that mothers to initiate third eye and Kundalini through umbilical cord initiation, entrusted by Cosmos as a divine mother on behalf of all divine mothers, so all live powers from day one with no discrimination. This is the global neighborhood of cultures, religions, spirituality, unique beings individually. When one Dharma or one family or one household in this global neighborhood gets too enthusiastic in their competition of who's better, when taken too seriously, it becomes war. And war is pretty much ganging up and bullying, essentially, in the global neighborhood. To start at one Dharma, so all cultures, religions are unique. They are not the same. Not all traditions, religions, cultures teach about Advaita or oneness, inclusivity or communion as a foundation to the belief system. Hinduism is a mother-centric, inclusive umbrella term for 10,000 plus indigenous Aboriginal cultures and their traditions. So I would like to share a video that's to say more on that.
You want hell's enrollers or Kailasa's enrichers? You decide. You decide. What do you want? I am directly connecting you to Paramashiva. Come on, I am very clear. I am telling you, directly connect with Paramashiva. Have the deity of Ganesha, have the deity of Shiva, have the deity of Paramashiva, have the deity of Vishnu, have the deity of Supremest, have the deity of Navagrahas, have the deity of Parashakti. And I also wanted to address one more internal issue, small internal issue. It's very small, but I wanted to address. Many of the traditional Hindus were questioning me, which Sampradaya your Swamiji belongs to, which Sampradaya Nityananda belongs to. Please understand, in Hinduism, We had various mutts, monasteries, sampradayas. The Sarvanya Pitas were always a university where all sampradayas were taught. I am head of the multiple traditional Sarvanya Pitas existed, and I am reviving multiple traditional Sarvanya Pitas. Understand? Madurai was Sarvanya Pita. Tiruvannamalai was Sarvanya Pita. If you see in Tiruvannamalai, Ramana Maharshi is more Vedantic tradition. Ram Surat Kumar is more Bhakta. Bhakta Sampradaya means devotion. And Seshadri Swamigal is Sakta. He is a Shakta Sampradaya person. But Arunachala itself is a Sarvanya Pita. Understand? Sarvanya Pita is like a university where all the Sampradayas of Hinduism are taught and flourish. All Hindu Sampradayas flourished. So, Nityananda Sangha is like a Kailasa where all Hindu Sampradayas flourish. It's a Sarvanya Pita where all Hindu Sampradayas flourish. I am here to revive all Hindu Sampradayas. That is the beauty of Hinduism. Hinduism is not excluding. It includes everything, everyone, every possibility and every sampradaya. So I want all my disciples also to know the right answer when people question you.
My apologies. I'm going to play that again.
You want hell's enrollers or Kailasa's enrichers? You decide. You decide. What do you want? I am directly connecting you to Paramashiva. Come on, I am very clear. I am telling you, directly connect with Paramashiva. Have the deity of Ganesha, have the deity of Shiva, have the deity of Paramashiva, have the deity of Vishnu, have the deity of Supremest, have the deity of Navagrahas, have the deity of Parashakti. And I also wanted to address one more internal issue, small internal issue. It's very small, but I wanted to address. Many of the traditional Hindus were questioning me, which sampradaya your Swamiji belongs to, which sampradaya Nityananda belongs to. Please understand, in Hinduism, we had various mutts, monasteries, sampradayas. The Sarvanya Pitas were always a university where all sampradayas were taught. I am head of the multiple traditional Sarvanya Pitas existed, and I am reviving multiple traditional Sarvanya Pitas. Understand? Madurai was Sarvanya Pita. Tiruvannamalai was Sarvanya Pita. If you see in Tiruvannamalai, Ramana Maharshi is more Vedantic tradition. Ram Surat Kumar is more Bhakta. Bhakta Sampradaya means devotion. And Seshadri Swamigal is Sakta. He is a Shakta Sampradaya person. But Arunachala itself is a Sarvanya Pita. Understand? Sarvanya Pita is like a university where all the Sampradayas of Hinduism are taught and flourish. All Hindu Sampradayas flourished. So, Nityananda Sangha is like a Kailasa where all Hindu Sampradayas flourish. It's a Sarvanya Pita where all Hindu Sampradayas flourish. I am here to revive all Hindu Sampradayas. That is the beauty of Hinduism. Hinduism is not excluding, it includes everything, everyone, every possibility, and every sampradaya. So I want all my disciples also to know the right answer when people question you. Possibility and every sampradaya. That is the beauty of Hinduism. Hinduism is not excluding, it includes everything, everyone, every possibility, and every sampradaya. So I want all my disciples also to know the right answer when people question you.
So for me, I'm exercising the full dynamic range of the spiritual rites of even starting my own sampradaya, because it's only natural, right, for offspring of traditions. So elitist, supremist, hierarchical chosen ones is a mental setup. Racism, imperialism, Nazism, Zionism, Brahmanism, Judaism, which are bank strategies executed through all religions, countries, cultures, designed to divide and conquer, to enslave all, the masses, you. And what is this debt to? To who? Bankers. They do debt slavery on every level. Just follow the money. So
a Congolese man set himself on fire to bring attention to the ongoing genocide and exploitation that is happening to his people in the DRC. The video is circulating all over Twitter, and now it has made its way to TikTok right now. And people are outraged. And I actually searched up the whole situation to see if there's articles on it. And no BBC or CNN or Washington Post, none of these big publications covered it, because they want to hide what they are doing in the DRC. So the man literally set himself on fire. Like, I don't even know how he can have that kind of courage, but just to like bring attention to what's happening to the people of Congo. Like, they're being exploited. Millions of people, children at the age of 4, are mining cobalt and coltan and all kinds of stuff for the tech companies and all kinds of stuff. Okay, and I don't know if you guys seen the video, but it's pretty heavy. And because we need to bring attention to this issue, guys. Nobody's talking about what's happening in Africa and how these people are suffering from the same colonial power. Israel, America, Britain, France, all these people are taking advantage of these innocent people and their lives. The conflict in the DRC is fueled by the competition for the rich natural resources of the region, such as gold, coltan, and cobalt, which are used in various industries and technologies. Literally, every big company, every tech company, the government, everyone is taking advantage of the Congolese people and their natural resource, which belongs to them, and they're not even profiting from it. They're being forced to mine it. First of all, do all the hard work, risk their lives, and then these people steal it from them and come and make billions of dollars worth of profit.
So let's take a moment in gratitude and prayer for somehow, some way, something, things start becoming pono. Because if you're using tech, you're watching this, if you have a smartphone, all of that, we're indebted to these people. Thank you. If we remain silent for animal mothers, the same atrocities are happening to our fellow humans in Congo, Gaza, Hawaii, Native Americans, etc. Just think about it. Children as young as 4. What community in their right mind would allow children as young as 4 to be enslaved, to go mining? Possibly women are being raped and forced to have children to continuously supply human resource. That's what miracles. Life is a miracle of cosmos, of God, of Paramashiva, not for corporations to use and abuse. And that's where the elitist, supremacist, hierarchical chosen ones, it's a mental setup. Yeah. What are we consciously perpetuating? Let's normalize handmade gifts, digital gifts, regifting, secondhand gifts, consumable gifts, experience gifts, and small business gifts. Let's go back to family and community and small businesses and stay away from the corporations, because the corporations are pitting one culture against another in price wars. Yeah. So in the global neighborhood, you have all of those people doing their whatever they're doing, right? It's a supremacy issue, right? And technically it just becomes, if you go way back, it's grandpas fighting over whose story is better and more legitimate. And my question is, founded on what? And how does it really matter? It only matters in the short span of that being's life, which is less than a cricket fart in a tornado on the timeline of eternity. And it's only to that guy waving around his crayon scribbles on the other side of the rock wall. Crazy neighbor suffering from narcissism. They get grandpas, I get grandpas too, right? And if we go all the way back, it's from the Big Bang. So we all are one, just a different expression. And that different expression should be celebrated. So I've been advocating people to heal their anxiety and depression by doing your DNA genealogy and spiritual genealogy. It'll be the most beautiful, delicious, beautiful adventure into celebrating your life. So go get the wiggles out. Regain what was stolen or hidden from you. Go roots. Go roots. And you will find food, dance, music, medicine, spirituality is in your DNA, your culture. What's in your DNA? Right? What's in your DNA? Go find out. Colonizers use treaties for bait and switch. That's where the narcissism and those toxic behavior patterns come from. You are consciousness. You are here in the cosmos paying rent to who? Should start asking that question. Never worry about who will be offended when you speak the truth. Worry about who will be misled, deceived, and destroyed if you don't. So I recommend everyone to always do your own research, fact check, and trust yourself. You be yourself and the world will adjust. Now, why am I saying this? Is because everybody out there is posturing, or based off of the blind spot lenses when they read something, whether it's laws or anything, it's based on their interpretation and their perspective, which is their own self-righteous agendas or business or whatever. it is, so that you don't get caught in the crosshairs, especially on the legality side. If somebody's saying X, Y, and Z, you will take their word for it. You go fact check. And if it check, then it's trustworthy. The person has gained your trust. You don't just blind trust. But if the person you find that is not full disclosure in the right context, meaning motherliness, meaning protection, meaning you're not going to go shove somebody in front of a bus kind of things, those are character indications for you to take mental notes when you engage further, right? So always do your own research. Take their word for it. Go fact check, right? Because I am exercising my full liberty as a Hindu and making the decision to start my own sampradaya. I calling myself a secular Hindu quantum catalyst fusionist, because I'm a catalyst holding that space from the timeline of eternity. That's why the catalyst, quantum catalyst, fusionist, fusing everything. Fusion, right? Food, dance, music, everything. Spirituality, whatever is like, right? We're gonna do that. So for me, this is all the things that are like my cord, my spinal cord. Mothers to initiate third eye and Kundalini through umbilical cord initiation. Mother and father is the first guru. The female form is the walking temple of life, more sacred and holy than all the temples, churches, holy places, and human achievement combined. The last guardians of the future, keeping everything current, including DNA, entrusted by the cosmos, Paramashiva, God. No one will ever grant me my birthright. Women are the source of posterity, thus the right to have one's own country and currency. Not the UN, not anyone or group is going to grant me that. I am standing here as a divine mother on behalf of all divine mothers, being like, no, I ain't, no, nobody's gonna tell me jack, because time is life, and I'm advocating for 1 hour, 1 hour exchanges. Currency and whatever should not, there shouldn't be a hierarchy in pay. It's 1 hour for 1 hour. That's cosmic law, right? You can have human law or whatever. But even that, the exchange wouldn't happen unless there was mutual consent, right? So even for me, I don't contract. It either is or it isn't, period. So based on that, all mothers are global leaders. Yep. So why the third eye and Kundalini? Because the 460 powers of Mahadeva are real. Hinduism is real. For me, I'm living the full dynamic of my rights to start my own family, lineage, sampradaya, vibe tribe of self-governed families expressing their own liberated consciousness, ensuring up-to-date DNA expressions spiritually, economically, and politically. So only the cosmos, Paramashiva, God, granted, blessed me life, as well as you, whoever you call upon. I'm also advocating for a moksha peace treaty, meaning self-governed sovereignty. We should all be able to have our own country, right? They have apps for everything. They have online form submissions for everything or whatever. And yeah, and not only that, I'm advocating for a global bureau of conveyance. So again, you are here paying rent to who? Legit question. I'm also proposing to redefine slavery. Those are built-in constructs of slavery. When landlords exist, slavery exists. Why are you having to earn X, Y, and Z for a place that you're rarely at before you can think about eating, right? Then there's all the other expenses that go into that. I want to share this video here, something to contemplate.
Gen Z doesn't agree that $74,000 is middle class. No kidding, it's not even close. Check this out. If you take $74,000 for a Gen Z, or let's say they have a bachelor's degree and they're 25 years old. First of all, $74,000 is much higher than the average income. Most Gen Zers are probably making anywhere from 40 to 50, maybe 60, but let's use 74. The take home after taxes, 401k, and health insurance is $4,300. The average college monthly payment on a loan is about $500. You're down to $3,800. Let's say this person is financially responsible, decides to split a 2-bedroom apartment in a medium-sized city like Orlando, so that their payment is $1,200 a piece, $200 for utilities, so $1,400. Now, unless they're going to have Lucky Charms and peanut butter and jelly, their groceries are going to cost about $600 if they're trying to get chicken, beef, and some healthy stuff. You have a $400 car payment, $200 in insurance, $150 for gas, $100 for a cell phone, leaves you with $950. This is no savings, investment, no emergency fund. Let's give them at least $300 to go on a couple dates or hang out with their friends for the month so they can enjoy life a little bit. They're left with only $650. A bachelor's degree, $74K salary. You are splitting a 2-bedroom apartment with a friend and only have $650 left a month. It would take you years to save up the $30,000 that you would need for a down payment on a house with the closing costs. But even if you could get that down payment saved, you would still need to make $120,000 a year to be considered for a $400,000 loan. The middle class, the goalpost has been moved from $70K to $120,000 in just the past 2 years.
That's very sobering to look at those figures, right? But because of American constructs that, or colonizers' constructs, those are colonizers' constructs, not American constructs. Why the Americans were running away from the British, their narcissistic abuser. But Earth peoples, and this is the case for Hawaii Kingdom.
You know, if every Hawaiian knew what it means to be an advocate for the Hawaiian Kingdom, it means access to land for every Hawaiian upon hitting the age of 21. When you hit the age of 21, you can go down to the Ministry of Interior and get a plot of land on which to build a house and grow food. Thousands of us Hawaiians from the 1850s all the way through till 1893, where it ends, access to what are called our native tenant rights and got plots of land for themselves and their family. It's very different than the land system we're in right now, where you got to scrap for money to try to get a down payment. That's the American system of land, right? One person in your family dies, everybody's fighting for that one house. You don't have to fight for that one house, you go get your own plot of land. That's the Hawaiian system.
So social constructs are very different. And collectively we can change those constructs. So I advocate for Hawaiian American Peace Treaty, Global Peace Treaty, Moksha Peace Treaty, which is self-governed personal responsibility of unalienable rights. I'm advocating for a global peace treaty, which is actual and factual humanitarian law, a global bureau of conveyance, which ensures collective integrity of mutual respect and honorable conduct, global fair trade for roots culture of master artisans. Ran into all of that corporate capitalist war, pitting one culture against another, when it came across the law hala. I also advocate for a women's safe house, and agriculture and livestock be separated in law and policy, food law and policy, because murder is hiding behind the skirt of food in the name of food, which translate into planned genocide, which they're doing to humans as well. If we're doing it to another species mother, right, they're being raped and forced to have kids, many times pinned down to have the kids and live their life that way. That's messed up, right? So we must advocate for them. Say things. I initiate third eye and Kundalini. I don't initiate children. I will not rob parents of that joy. I encourage them to initiate and train them. Those who are serious about power manifestation, I point to Swamiji. He is Guru, and the Paramashivoham program that he has to initiate and train people in 460 powers of Mahadeva. It comes with a lifestyle. It's from the Hindu perspective. I'm very, very inclusive. I am very firm because Kanaka Maoli were also power manifesting culture and have yet to find where I can point the direction to those who I have initiated, but I am very firm to encourage the consciousness diversity, and Kanaka Maoli stay in their culture. Let's look into their culture. So today in Paramashivoham, level 1, got the initiations for Mahasadashiva space, Parameshwara, Paramashanti, or Paramashanta, Paramananda, Sarvamangala. And level 2 got Vaksita and Nitya Dhyan Yoga. And level 3 got Ashtanga Yoga, Nitya Dhyan Samadhi, Chit Jata Grandi, Powerful Completion, Muscle Biomemory, Free from Depression, SDHD, Self-Blaming, and Consciousness Awakening. That's a huge boon. Swamiji just burns all of that away for us. So if you travel beyond this point, you'll be responsible for cost of search and rescue, personal responsibility code. I call upon Mahaparamashiva. I encourage you to call upon who you call upon as God.
Right. This is one of my favorite sentences of all time. Let me tell you why. Every time you say it, if you emphasize a different word, it changes the meaning of the sentence. I didn't say we should kill him. 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 It's really fun. Give it a go.
So decolonize your mind. How is all of this coming together, right? It's the way that used to be family-centric societies all around the world. One could say capitalism, but I think the capitalism is just a means to the end of superiority complexes, right? which the bank tries to enslave everyone.
The capitalist system, like any process, goes through its phases. In the 1700s, the capitalist system was very revolutionary. The merchant capitalists of the time were a revolutionary force, and they gave certain rights to working people, so we would fight on their behalf to overthrow monarchs. That was manifested in the United States in 1776 with the creation of the Bill of Rights, First Amendment, the Second Amendment, among other things. But the leaders at the time knew that if that system was destructive, people had the right to abolish that system, alter it. That's why they had the Second Amendment. Because the foundations of capitalism are to maximize power, profit, and control, it ultimately leads to a form of capitalism known as imperialism, monopoly capitalism. Key thing to take away is just because something's bad doesn't mean it dies. A lot of people have in their brains the false notion that when things get bad enough, change is going to occur. It's not true. You could have the dark ages for thousands of years. You have to create revolutionary change.
We need to build a bottoms-up movement. Go to ShivaForPresident.com and volunteer.
To practice American law. I am in Hawaii Kingdom, which they're trying to practice American law in Hawaii Kingdom during an occupation, which is war, and laws of war apply. So it gets very interesting. There are two sides to the coin called America. There is the U.S. citizen or public citizen or Britain side. And then there's the American citizen, private American Constitution side. So by the Constitution, the only way that the government got funding was through what is called bonds, which are a GoFundMe form of like a taxation, but those who support it would pay into it and get the bond, which is like a stock. Right, you put in money and then you get a rate of return on it. But with the Federal Reserve, which is a private bank, and the IRS, but it's about land, right? Just like Hawaii, even in America, it's all about land. Broken treaties are broken contracts. Everything's null and void in a war. If there's no treaty of annexation, just like in Hawaii, war and occupation still going on. So force majeure, claim force majeure. Legitimate force majeure is a legitimate claim in wartime. So something to consider.
1981, Sharon took tanks into Gaza and literally ran over people. I organized one of the biggest protests at Brandeis University, predominantly a Jewish school, not just Jews, but Jewish Zionists. The liberal Zionists always try to take over these movements. Ceasefire now, peace now. Those slogans have no meaning. They would never say end the occupation, end Zionism. This is very different. The real issue here is Zionism, which is racism, which serves imperialism. Ceasefire now is very hollow to just say, hey, we're Jewish Zionists, we don't want blood on our hands. It's a liberal feel-good movement. It's not saying end Zionism. Then there would be a ceasefire, and they'd say, oh my God, our protest ones, aren't we great? 5 years later, Israel would go another step further. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. This is why I've been very hard hitting on this. Every 10 to 20 years, new people show up, obviously with righteous indignation. They want the right things, and the not-so-obvious establishment suckers them in.
We need to build a bottoms-up movement. Go to ShivaForPresident.com and volunteer.
So this is a video I found interesting and something to really think about. What is going on? And should you be sending your kids to school? Because the school system is a service. It's not mandatory. You can homeschool your kids.
What Poots is doing. I had a deep conversation with Steven Seagal last time I was in Dubai. And Steven told me, first couple hours of school, those boys learn jab crawl for like 2 years straight before they even throw a hook and PE. Jab cross. The kids are boxing in school as a part of their regimen. Russia's not fucking around. China's not fucking around. Nobody in BRICS is messing around. You think those Brazilian kids aren't learning jiu-jitsu every day? Meanwhile, they're allowing American young men to have TikToks and get their brain polluted and telling them that, you know, they might or might not be a boy.
Right? Something to really consider, as well as the chemicals that are being added to food that changes the chemistry of people into that confusion of identity. And it's a very serious situation, right? Fundamentally advocate for third eye and Kundalini, because then nobody can mess with anybody, because third eye sees everything. And fundamentally for me, I'm an anarchist. I don't believe in government. With all the technology and such that is available now, it's not necessary. Found a video that perfectly articulates the perspective that I'm looking from. And with the technology, everything can simply be made. Global Peace Treaty, Global Bureau of Conveyance.
Globalization a bad idea?
No, I think I think most anarchists are much more in favor of globalization than the people that they oppose.
I'm sorry?
Than the people that they oppose. I don't think the IMF, the World Bank are particularly in favor of globalization in any meaningful sense of the term. Yeah. If you think that globalization is the effacement of borders and the free movement of people, possessions, and ideas, let's define it that way. Well,
good idea.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. But, I mean, of course, anarchists are opposed to the very existence of international borders because we don't believe in nation states. At the same time, you know, if you look at what actually happens with globalization, first of all, free movement of people is not what it's about at all. I mean, the border guard between U.S. and Mexico has tripled since the signing of NAFTA. And because the way what they call globalization actually works, it's all about trapping people in places where you then remove Social Security, creating people desperate enough to undersell each other, and allow corporations to move around to take advantage of it. I mean, we don't think that's real globalization.
Right? Some things to really think about. Seriously think about. So, one of the things that is Dr. Shiva, I'm going through his content, specifically learning more about the perspective of Zionism and such, because of his video, Shatter the Swarm. I did put the link to that in the description. Please watch that. He has a warrior scholar program to get trained and specialize in the swarm or systems education. I highly encourage you to participate and get educated on what this mess is, and it directly affects you and your family, and you and your posterity, your future. So thank you so much for listening to tonight's episode. Let's close with a prayer for peace. You're welcome to say closing prayers of your tradition. Peace for you, peace for me, and global peace. Thank you. Have a good evening. Aloha. Nityanandam.